40,000 years ago, deep inside a cave, someone held a torch in one hand and a lump of charcoal in the other. They were cold. They were hungry. Outside, things with teeth were waiting in the dark. And instead of doing anything useful, they drew a horse. You can't eat a painting. A poem won't shelter you from a storm. So why, when survival was a full-time job, did we start making beautiful, useless things? And why, 40,000 years later, can't we stop? Here's the first secret. Your mind is a loud place. Grief, awe, love, dread. We carry enormous storms inside us, and language keeps falling short. Art is how we take something invisible, a feeling trapped inside one single skull, and turn it into something you can actually see and hear and touch. And here's the strange part. It works. Brain scans show that the simple act of putting a feeling into form, words, images, sound, measurably quiets the fear centers of the brain. Getting it out isn't a metaphor, it's neurology. As Picasso put it, art is the lie that enables us to realize the truth. A song isn't your grief. It's an invention, a made-up thing, a lie. But it carries the truth better than any fact could. A sad song doesn't describe sadness. It hands it to you. For 3 minutes, a stranger's grief becomes your own, and somehow that makes it lighter to carry. That's the first reason we make art, to get the inside out. But expression is only half the story. The other half is stranger, and it starts with lion cubs. Watch lion cubs wrestle. They're not really fighting, they're practicing. Play is how the brain rehearses for the real thing. Now here's the wild idea. Art might be exactly that. Play. For the mind. Your brain is a pattern hunting machine. It craves order. Then it craves the thrill of order being broken. A drum beat sets up a rhythm, then breaks it, and you feel it in your chest. A story builds a world, then shatters your expectations, and you gasp. That's not just a figure of speech. When scientists scanned people listening to their favourite music, the moment the chills hit lit up the same reward circuit as food and sex. Your brain treats a great melody like survival. And stories? Stories are a flight simulator for life. Through a novel or a film, you can fall in love, lose everything, make the impossible choice, and walk away completely unharmed. You get to practice being human without paying the price. That's not a waste of time. That might be one of the smartest things a brain has ever figured out how to do. But for most of human history, art wasn't even a separate thing. It had one employer: religion. And those cave paintings, they weren't decoration in someone's living room. People lived near the cave entrances, but they painted deep inside, in chambers you had to crawl through darkness to reach. These weren't galleries. They were ceremony. And in those same caves, we found flutes carved from bird bone, 40,000 years old. Music, painting, ritual, born in the same room. In Egypt, art was technology for the afterlife. A tomb painting wasn't a picture of servants and bread. It became servants and bread for the dead. The sculptor's title literally meant the one who keeps alive. In medieval Europe, the church was practically the only client for 1,000 years. Stained glass windows were the Bible for people who couldn't read a word of it. And when the Pope wanted a ceiling painted, he strong-armed a sculptor named Michelangelo, who insisted he wasn't even a painter. And when Islam ruled out images of living things, art didn't stop. It flowed sideways, into calligraphy, into geometry, into pattern, and became some of the most breathtaking abstract art ever made. Block one door, and art finds another. Then, barely 300 years ago, something strange happened. Art moved out, into museums, into galleries. And for the first time, it had to answer a new question. If art no longer serves the gods, what is it for? Which is exactly why the gallery gets so confusing. If you've ever stood in a gallery thinking, how is that art? This part is for you. Because art doesn't have one job anymore. It has a whole toolkit. And every piece picks up a different tool. Some art is pure beauty, a perfect photograph, the curve of a vase, no hidden message. It just hums on your senses, and that's enough. Some art is pure idea. In 1917, a man signed a porcelain urinal, called it Fountain, and put it in a gallery. It's not beautiful. That was the point. It hijacked everyone's expectations to ask one dangerous question. Who decides what counts as art at all? The original was thrown out with the trash. Today, its replicas sit in museums worth millions. The question won. And some art is pure feeling, a scream of colour, a wall of sound, skipping pretty entirely, just to pipe raw emotion straight from one heart into another. Beauty, idea, emotion, different doors, but they all lead into the same building. So what is that building? What do beauty and ideas and raw feeling all have in common? One thing, the frame. Art happens the moment a human takes a slice of the world, a sound, a sight, a movement, a thought, puts a frame around it and says to another human, stop, don't use this to survive. Just look. Notice how it makes you feel. Sounds abstract? In 2007, the Washington Post ran an experiment. Joshua Bell, one of the greatest violinists alive, a man who fills concert halls at $100 a seat, put on a baseball cap and played his $3.5 million Stradivarius in a subway station during morning rush hour. Over 1,000 people walked past. He earned $32. 3 days earlier, the same man, playing the same music, had brought a packed concert hall to its feet. Same violin, same music, no frame. That's the whole trick. The frame turns looking into seeing. And the reason we need so many kinds of art is simple. We're complicated. Some days you need comfort. Some days you need a mirror for your pain. And some days you need your mind blown wide open so you can see the ordinary world like it's the first time. This is why art shows up everywhere humans do. It's older than writing, older than the wheel, older than farming. Which brings us back to our friend in the cave. We used to think that horse was decoration, but look closer. Beside the animals, again and again, there's a handprint, pressed into the rock, pigment blown around a human hand. And when scientists measured those hands, they found something nobody expected. Many of them were women. Some were teenagers, even children, not chiefs. Not shamans. Ordinary people, reaching up in the dark. Not a tool. Not a meal. A message. The oldest sentence we know how to write. I was here, I was real, and this is how I saw the world. We are the species that was never content to just exist. We make art because we have to say, I was here. So the next time you doubt that thing you're making is good enough, remember? You're not really asking, is it good? You're doing the most ancient, most human thing there is. You're pressing your hand against the wall. Thanks for watching. If this made you want to go create something, that's the whole point. So, what will you make? And if this is the kind of thing you like thinking about, subscribe. This is my first video, but there's a lot more coming.